It's a period of high uncertainty when it comes to global monetary policy. What are your expectations in terms of how the RBI is going to be able to thread that needle?
Hey, morning, Heidi. Certainly, I think the RBI and against the backdrop of at least two central banks globally who have surprised, who had slipped into a pause and thereafter they've gone on to hike rates. More recently, Bank of Canada. I think for the RBI, they did surprise with a pause in April, and I think what we expect them to do today is to extend that pause for a couple of reasons. I think what they have said is that they have already undertaken more than 250 basis points of hikes till date. They want that effect to show in the real rates and as well as in the economy. Usually it works with a lag. But I think what they're going to do along with the pause is to maintain their stance. And what that stance is about withdrawal of accommodation, which essentially means that in the event that they see risks to inflation, they could go ahead and respond to it by hiking rates. Personally, I do think that the bar to return to rate hikes is still quite high. But nonetheless, I think that's the balance they're likely to strike, stay on pause, but maintain their stance where they stand ready to act if required.
The monsoon season could be the wild card here, isn't it? Because, that aside, we've actually seen perhaps the RBI and the Indian economy in a fairly comfortable situation at the moment.
Your growth numbers that came out for the first quarter of 2023, which is the final quarter of the fiscal year, it was much stronger than expected. So it started the year on a very strong note. And I think if you look at the industry breakdown, if you look at the farm sector performance as well as services, most engines were firing away. So on the growth front, I think that they are quite comfortable. And the central bank's rhetoric has also been that, growth is expected to be about 6.5% in the fiscal year that we're just into. Now, going back to your question on monsoon risk, certainly one thing that our community as well as the central bank is watching very closely what that means for a very crucial summer crop, because this part of the monsoon that's coming up makes up about 3/4 of the annual rainfall. So certainly it and its impact on food production, particularly food grain production, will be something to watch out for. As a preemptive step, we saw yesterday that the government actually raised the minimum support prices for the summer crop, to make up for the increase in input costs. We don't necessarily think it'll be very inflationary, but it's certainly a preemptive step to, in case there is any problems, in case the farmers actually face higher costs going into the sowing season, that this could help in that regard. But certainly a development watching out for, and I think in specifically the onset of the El Nino phenomena is something that will be under close scrutiny.
Radhika.
Not all El Ninos have resulted in droughts, but yes, certainly delay in rains is a risk.